The Kayfabe Crunch stays fun, with thanks to Wrestle Rampage, the new addictive mobile game from Mitosis. Smash wave after wave of opponents in over 9,600 stages. But don't forget to collect the power cells or you'll die. Not enough power cells? Buy them from our in-game store. Wrestle Rampage. Play till your eyes bleed.
The Kayfabe Crunch. Goodbye and good news.
Yes, good news. This is your Kayfabe Crunch for Tuesday, May 26th, 2020. I'm Ian Irish Whip. Coming up, we bring you all the latest news from Monday Night Raw, Double or Nothing, and we're very excited to announce that a well-respected wrestling journalist will give us his exclusive star ratings from Saturday's event. But first, on this day in grappling history, in 2008, Vince McMahon announced his $1 Million Mania, an initiative where he gave millions of dollars away live on air. To McMahon's credit, this is the closest billionaires will get to redistributing their immoral quantities of accumulated wealth. And 5 years ago today, Sami Zayn underwent shoulder surgery after injuring both shoulders while cheering to the crowd on his Raw debut. Now, this follows many similar non-wrestling related injuries in the sport, such as Randy Orton dislocating his shoulder while taking his trash out, Val Venus breaking a rib while, well, you know. And then there was the incident with King Kong Bundy, some duct tape, and that chicken. Thank you for listening to the Kayfabe Crunch. Remember, wrestling is real, but it's also very silly. If you take it so seriously you start to harass wrestlers on social media, you're simply not a fan. Please look inward before you lash outward. Can I keep that in? It feels important to say, but it also feels like the news wouldn't say that. And now, let's get on with the Stadium-Stampede news. Top story, horsing around. Yes, Saturday saw the first ever Stadium-Stampede match. And what we saw was one of the most unique matches in the history of this magnificent sport. It was sort of like wrestling meets football, meets swimming, meets diving, meets equestrianism, meets bar fight, meets golfing, meets football. Did I say that one already? There were a lot of football references. The Elite and the Inner Circle began by charging at each other from either end of the stadium. And if I'm getting my American sports correct, and I think I am, this is a reference to what's called a tip-off. I hope I got that one right. I don't want to be put inside football's famous penalty box. The sin bin. Some wrestling took place inside a ring that had been erected on the 50-yard line, but most of the carnage happened in and around the stadium. For example, Hangman Page showed up riding his horse, a horse we've since learned has been turned into vital glue to aid in the public health effort. Thank you, horse. #Howl for Hangman's horse. Hangman chased down Sammy Guevara, who managed to escape, but, well, the so-called Spanish God had a rough time of it on Saturday, as he was hit by yet another golf cart and plunged from the grandstands to end the match, meaning a much-needed win for a united Elite. Other highlights from this match included 50 consecutive Northern Lights suplexes from Matt Jackson. Aurora Borealis, hell yes. We saw multiple reincarnations from Matt Hardy, the destruction of the Jacksonville Jaguars executive suite, someone owes daddy money, and a new high-powered drone joined the fight. This match is well worth a watch for anyone remotely interested in this great sport. And I'd like to take this opportunity to reiterate that this is a sport. How anyone could call pro wrestling fake after watching a Stadium-Stampede match? It boggles the mind. It's real. These things happened. You'd have to be literally insane to make this stuff up. Now it's time for your fast count, the TNT Championship belt of news.
Seth Rollins suggests he may not be ready for fatherhood.
Hey, don't move! Don't take another step or that kid loses an eye!
Mike Tyson spotted inhaling extra oxygen during the TNT Championship Finals on Saturday. The former world champion's attempt to oxidize his brain has been mistaken for a yawn by many, and his agent would like to assure wrestling fans he wasn't bored, he was just a little sleepy.
Brian Cage debuts in AEW and is buried instantly by ringside debris.
WWE reportedly considers keeping ringside plexiglass once the public can return to shows. And beyond. Just always.
MVP offers to pay for the drinks of the Ringside Performance Center recruits. MVP failed to realize Simone Johnson was in the crowd. MVP was last seen driving away from Florida.
Nyla Rose asks us to bet on black. I did, and I lost a lot of money in the office betting pool. Guess I'll have to decide which kid isn't going to college. Thanks, Nyla, and congratulations, Shida, I guess.
Garza describes a match as like making love to a good woman, although this match featured multiple clumsy body slams, so it's not likely he's ringing any bells.
Apollo Crews wins the United States Championship, with the USA Network having the US Championship and TNT now boasting one of their own. We're all waiting for the Fox title and the subsequent return of the GOAT, Alicia.
Nia Jax wins #1 contendership, which is lucky as she had already begun to antagonize Asuka.
And that's your fast count.
You've been counted out. Hit the ice bath, team.
If you're unsure what you thought of Saturday's event, don't worry, we have some hot, experienced opinions coming your way in around 9 seconds. Here's esteemed wrestling journalist and metalworker Dave Smelter giving his infamous star ratings for Double or Nothing 2020.
So, Double or Nothing started with a ladder match, and, well, the thing about ladder matches is most fans don't know this, but, well, they're dangerous, and ladders can be tripped on and fallen upon, and it's really just a big problem overall. And you might see that in WWE, but the good thing about AEW is that, well, they did the ladder match first, and they didn't make you wait for it all night. And then there was no chance of anyone tripping over the ladder because they're so smart that they took the ladders away after the match. So I thought that was a really good thing. And then Brian Cage was the surprise entrant. And, well, you know, he went on to win the, what's it called? Hold on, let me find it. Yes, the Magic Opportunity Disc. All in all, for a ladder match, I gotta give it 8 stars. Jungle Boy and MJF. Ugh, I hated this match. You had MJF defeat Jungle Boy, and it just, wasn't believable. The kid's feral. The kid has lived in the jungle for, who knows, how many years. He can't even beat this rich piece of crap. He's like a mini Tarzan. Imagine mini Tarzan losing to a rich Jewish guy. It was totally just unbelievable. And just give me a break. What a piece of crap. Awful match. -5 stars. And next we had the TNT Championship, Cody and Lance Archer. So Cody became the first TNT champion. And, Cody's a humble guy. And he's had a rough start in AEW, losing his big matches. But, he beat this monster, Lance Archer, as 3 legends watch. And he's such a humble, great guy. And I think that if you have Mike Tyson present the belt to you, it shows how small your ego is. Because it would take a massive ego to hire Tyson to do that. And that's a fact. So if someone actually does it, you're like, wow, no way can his ego be that big because, well, he actually did it. 8.23 stars. So Hikaru Shida beat Nyla Rose in a no DQ match, and it was, well, I was actually surprised by this one. People have accused me of not being too hot on women's wrestling, but I don't dislike women's wrestling. I'm just confused by women in general, which is a totally different thing. But these ladies killed it, and each other for that matter. I mean, they killed each other. They really got creative with the set, and there was a lot of, what's the word? Creativity in the match. So 8.7.5 stars. Okay, so yeah, Stadium-Stampede match was the main event. It's no secret. I love the Elite. I'm personal friends with Matt and Nick Massey. You probably know them as the Young Bucks, and, well, I love what they've got going on. The Bucks, they even named a move after me. I mean, the Smelter Smasher. You know what that is. And how could you not love them after the Smelter Smasher? So this match was entirely chaotic, but at the same time, it was, exactly what wrestling should be. Chaos. Chaos that I like, if that makes sense. The horse spot was great. It's always fun to see a horse. I think everybody enjoys seeing the horse. And the bar fight was, a nice chance to pour some out for the homies. But, the last week we've had, it's just been so awful. And for them to do the drowning spot, just seemed a bit bold to me, but AEW wants to push that envelope. Blood and guts, pal. So if I don't like to rate these matches because, well, it was just so perfect. But if I had to rate it, I give it 9 stars. Oh wait, I just got a text from Jericho. I give it 10 stars. 10 out of 5.
There's just time for some local wrestling news now. Bored independent wrestler Max Justice has been spotted challenging members of the public to matches in a parking lot in central Idaho. Police advice is to not take Justice up on his offer for public health reasons and due to the lack of a proper official. Also, he'd f*** you up. Join us Saturday when we'll bring you all the latest from the safest and the most routinely tested sport in the world. Although, not for steroids, obviously. And remember, you can support this podcast by following us on Twitter at Kayfabe Crunch. Be careful on that website. There are a lot of people on Twitter who think wrestling is fake. Simply ignore them. They're just trolls. This has been the Kayfabe Crunch. Your not quite daily, not quite news bump for the world of professional wrestling.
The Kayfabe Crunch stays fun with thanks to Wrestle Rampage. Download now from the App Store and get $200 off a $10,000 pack of Power Cells. Then use your 5 Power Cells to recharge your rampaging wrestlers for a whole 10 minutes. Wrestle Rampage. You'll lose weeks of your life, but some users agree it's all worth it.
The Kayfabe Crunch.